Hello and welcome to the Breakdown Studio Live. I'm Woman Grandmaster Dina Belenkaya.
And I'm Grandmaster Ernesto Inarkiev. Hello.
We are here to bring you some of the most exciting games of the round 8 of the Candidates tournament, and we'll be joining you live every round to look at the most decisive games as they unfold.
Chess is generally a very deep game, but we love it so much, so we're going to make the show sharp and fun and exciting and going through all this game together with this fine experience.
We'll be also joined by some legendary grandmasters who will share with us their perspectives on one of the biggest year chess event.
Yes, actually, who is our guest for today, Nina?
Shall we keep it as a secret?
Give me some hint.
Well, this is the world challenger for the title, former world challenger of 2016.
Also, he keeps a record of being the youngest GM in the world.
That's right. He's also a world rapid and blitz champion.
Yes, so should we say his name? Or maybe he don't need even to say it.
Well, he for sure doesn't need any special
Introduction.
That's the word.
That's true.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's keep it a secret for
yeah,
a bit.
let's keep it as a secret.
Before we will come to our guest, I want to say that today is a very tough round. 2 games is still going, and one of the games which is definitely the most beautiful game of today's round is the game Fabiano Caruana against Maxime Vachier. It was a very sharp game. We will come deep to that game later, but right now I would like to say that there is a position where Caruana still tried to convert his advantage. He has a rook against knight, but position is objectively drawish, so if Maxime will do everything right, we expect that the game will finish in a draw. And about the second game, there is a clash between 2 Russian grandmasters, Kirill Alexeenko and Alexander Grischuk. The game still ongoing. It seems like Alexander trying to put maximum pressure on Kirill, but Kirill's position is very, very solid, and also we expect that the game should finish in a draw today. What do you think about such long games in the first round?
It's very special. Of course, for all of them, it is the first over-the-board game, real game that they are playing, touching the wooden pieces, and I guess it might actually feel kind of unnatural, I would even say. But in any case, these are very, very experienced players, so I'm pretty sure they won't have any problem with that. And before we dive into the action, I suggest we take a look at what happened last year in Yekaterinburg.
Just over a year ago, when the global pandemic was taking over, the Candidates tournament held in the Russian city of Yekaterinburg was one of the last few big sporting events before the lockdown. And it should probably go down in history as the longest chess event ever, as it kicked off on March 17, 2020, and is still underway. The competition was put on hold halfway through due to safety reasons as Russia closed the borders. It was Yan Nepomniachtchi who got off to a powerful and confident start with 3 draws and 3 wins in the first 6 games. But then he was outplayed in style by Maxime Vachier, with the 2 sharing the lead after 7 rounds. Now, a year on, the planet's toughest chess players are finally back at it with the same mission, as the competition has just resumed today. And we're now privileged to present you with some of the sharpest minds in the world who are back to the capital of the Urals. They're the Magnificent 8, but there will only be one in the end. The next man to take on the King of the Hill, world champion Magnus Carlsen.
We have just seen what happened a year ago when the tournament got postponed since Russia banned all the flights. And right now we are ready to join our guest. We are ready to join Mr. Sergey Karjakin here in our studio.
Hello.
Hello, Sergey. Hello. It's a privilege to have you
here.
How
are you, Ernesto?
Very good. Very glad to see you, and it's a privilege to have you here in our show.
Yes, me too. I'm happy to see you, to hear you.
Tell us the secret. Where are you now? In which city?
I'm in Moscow, but right now I am in the restaurant in the Moscow city.
Oh, nice. A very good choice.
I'm together with my friend Timur. He is with me.
Oh, wow. Hello, Timur.
Very, very good.
Hi guys.
Hello, Timur. Very good to see you also.
Would you like to join us for an interview as well?
No. Thank you so much.
It seems like Sergey prepared very well, so you got a coach with you,
A
yes?
supporter.
Okay.
Well, first game day, are you surprised with the results? How did you...
You mean the results of today? Sorry,
Yes,
I
or
didn't hear
results of... Did you feel bored today?
No, I didn't feel bored. I was actually very curious how deep will be the preparation of the players because they prepared for 1 year against each other and it's like huge amount of time. So I was hoping to get some novelties, some new ideas, and actually we have seen a very interesting idea of Fabiano Caruana, and he is probably winning with some luck, but anyway, it will be a hugely important game if he wins it. And also we have seen that Giri played unusual opening for him. So there are actually a lot of interesting things happened today.
Yes, it is hard even to imagine what does it mean to prepare 1 year. But how do you think? Give us your thoughts. For whom this break was good? For whom of the participants? Who prepared better for the tournament? What is your opinion?
Well, it's hard to say. Of course, the correct answer we can give only after the end of the tournament. But at the same time, I see that Fabiano is probably in a good form because he prepared a great novelty, great new idea. And I remember that last year he was in a very bad form. So probably for him the break was very good. And for others now it's just too early to say. I don't know.
Yes. Also, I would like to ask. This is of course difficult for the chess player to have a such break. I can imagine that probably it was the longest break from live games in your chess career. Also, yeah. Please describe how did you manage to build your training routine during all this period? How was it?
Oh. Well, it was personally for me very difficult from one point of view because I didn't have tournaments and I was very much used to go from one tournament to another, from one training session to another. But then somehow I spent a lot of time with my family, with my kids, with my wife, and it was also very important because before the pandemic started, I was traveling for too much and so I needed this time with my family. And then later on, somehow I started to feel that the tournaments will come very soon, and I knew that I will play in the super final, so I decided to make few training sessions, and after that, somehow I started to feel that, okay, I'm ready, let's try to play in a tournament. I played very interesting chess in the super final. I won 5 games out of 10 or something, and it was very nice.
And how did you feel on the first round of the Russian super final, touching the wooden pieces again?
Yeah, it was very unusual because I didn't play exactly 1 year. I didn't play so no practice. Of course, I played internet tournaments, but it's completely different feelings. I was very hungry for the real chess, and it was very important for me to start well. And after I won the first game in the super final, I already felt that okay, at least one game is good, and let's go on.
Nice, very nice approach indeed.
It sounds like you have a long vacation before you get a tournament in your schedule. Is it right? I mean, it's very hard to make a real training sessions before you see that, okay, next month I will have a tournament, you know the opponents, and you start to prepare. before that, it's very hard.
Yes, yes. It's really very hard when you don't know when is your next tournament. And I remember that before, when I had a break like 2 months, it was already a huge break for me. But this time it was 1 year, it was really difficult to force yourself to train chess. But at the same time, I did a lot of nice things. I made a lot of sports things. So not only chess, and it was also very important for my form, for my feelings, and so I didn't lose this time. Somehow I felt like I spent a good year anyway.
And regarding the candidates, who do you think could benefit the most from this break among the candidates?
It's really hard to see to say, but I felt like it's not only Jan and Vachier are competing against each other, because there are also few players who have 50% score who can also try to win the tournament. And I was mostly thinking about Giri, about Grischuk, and about Fabiano.
So, who is your favorite, Sergey? You know them very well. You played with them many games, and can you? Okay, the chances. Name the player. Which chances of whom you consider as highest?
I think that the highest chances have Jan Nepomniachtchi, but I feel like Fabiano will do his best, and he is very, very dangerous in this tournament. I'm sure that he prepared very well.
So we expect, according to your prognosis, that there will be a race between Caruana and Nepomniachtchi.
It might be like this, because I really believe that Fabiano is very dangerous.
Okay.
And have you been helping out any of them, any of these candidates?
I cannot say this information. It's a secret.
This is something we expected.
After the tournament. After.
Yes, but maybe you can tell us in generally. Yes or no? Don't tell the names. Just keep it as a joker, you know.
Well, I was speaking with different players for some time, and I was giving them some kind of advices according to my experience, because I played 3 candidates and with the good results. But basically, I wasn't in a deep preparation with anybody.
Okay. We also have a more general question for you, Sergey. Nowadays, we'll see new things happening in the chess world. I'm talking about a lot of coverage, some new ideas is coming. How do you think? What is the future of the chess as a commercial sport? I mean, to be successful as a commercial in the industry. How do you feel? Is it a race now or going down?
I feel like it's possible. It's possible to find new sponsors and new contracts, and chess can be on TV actually. And I remember that we had a very successful experience when we played this Armageddon tournament, when we all had this I don't know how to say in English, pulsometer, and so when we played the audience, they could see how they could see our pulse, and what I was thinking about, if it's good or not, the position.
Yes, very interesting. We also wanted to ask you about today's game.
Yeah, but before we go there, let us. There are still some of the questions we prepared. Looking at the list of the participants, in your opinion,
Yes.
Are there some players that should have been there but just got unlucky and didn't manage to be selected?
Of course, it's me. Okay, I'm joking. It is Timur who actually was there, but by some conflict, he didn't. He's not playing. But of course, it's very unfair that he's not playing. And also, I can also admit that that Wesley So is one of the best players now, that's for sure, and he's not playing. Maybe I would say it's a little bit pity, but anyway, there are only 8 players, and it's impossible to have them all.
Fair enough. And as someone who played against Carlsen, what would be your advice to the winner of this tournament, whoever it may be?
Well, my advice that Carlsen is also a human, and it's possible to win. You have to believe it, and you have to prepare very, very well. It's for sure.
Okay.
And not only in chess, but also you have to be ready mentally to play against world champion. It's also important.
It's interesting that you pointed this exactly point. Can you share the secret with us? What exactly what is it exactly to be ready mentally to play this match? What is it exactly? How it is? I don't know. Maybe you look to the mirror every day in the morning and say, "Oh, I'm Tyson. I will beat Carlson." How to prepare mentally?
It's hard to say, but I think that for the different players, it might be a different advice, because somebody believes that you need some help from professional. Some mental help. Some of the players needs maybe support from the family, from the wife, from the kids. I don't know. So it really depends. And somebody needs the support from the coaches, because I know, for example, from my experience, when I won a candidates tournament and then later on I played a match, I had with myself Vladimir Potkin, and he somehow gave me a lot of motivation, a lot of support, and it was very, very important. So it was not only about chess.
So do you think Nepo is in good hands?
I'm sure that he's in a good hands, and I know that Vladimir Potkin is helping him very, very well.
Yes, we also would like to ask you a few answers about the game. I think it's the main game of today is Caruana against Vachier. I know that you played this line with white also. So what can you say about this game? What was the critical moment? Because it seems like Vachier found all the best move to keep the equality.
Yeah. Well, somehow it was a strange feeling, because Vachier played well, but he didn't play Rook A7 later on. Later on, because this all he played fine, but he didn't play. I mean, he didn't move his rook. He was afraid maybe of some tactics, but it was nothing special, and I'm sure that he would make a draw without any big problems after Rook A7. But he decided to give up the rook, and it was very important, I believe. Later on, he had a draw, but it was very difficult for the human to defend in this position, because there are many traps, and it was difficult.
Okay, the game is still continuous right now, but about this end game, you know, yes.
Yeah, but this is already completely winning for white. Unfortunately, but it's winning.
I always thought that it's very important when the knight, which position takes the knight, because if the knight can attack the power.
Yeah. Yes, but I can say that he made a big mistake when he allowed white's king to come to the h5, and with a white's king on h5 it's winning, and with the black's king on g6 he could make a draw.
But what should be a plan for White? How White should win this position?
Okay, first of all, I think that he resigned actually after King G6. But but also I think that after King G6, King G7, and next move is Rook F5, and it's just winning, isn't it?
Okay, so when we had a conversation with Sergey, the game was just finished, and
yeah, the king is already on G6, but there is no result yet on the website. You should be right though.
yeah, so this is a big result for today, and this is just exactly what you just announced it. I can say that you said that Caruana is gonna be one of the racer.
Yes. Caruana is certainly very, very dangerous.
Yes, so this endgame is definitely here. Vachier had the chances to survive, but it's difficult to defend, especially after such a start. Yes, he had a difficult opening. He had to defend immediately after the first moves they made, and finally he collapsed. Okay, so what about other games, Sergey? Did you find something interesting in other games?
Well, I think the interesting game is Alexeenko against Grischuk, and actually I don't know if it's still going on
It
or
is
not.
still going on indeed.
It is.
Yeah.
It's probably winning for White even. Well, I was very surprised by the opening choice of Alexander, because I thought that in this line Black can only hope for the draw, but in fact it was also, I think, a very, very deep preparation by Alexander, and he got very, very good position with Black, and then he was playing on win. I'm sure that he tried to win, but somehow maybe in the time trouble and also after the set note, he didn't make a draw, but in fact it wasn't so much difficult. I mean, the position was drawish.
And there is one more thing. You had a very impressive win in candidate tournaments when you won the last game against Caruana. And right now, Jan Nepomniachtchi is still the leader, and also Caruana is going only half point behind him. What can you say for the leaders? How they should play? Is it possible to keep leading, you know, don't, I don't know, maybe control the situation? What is the best strategy, in your opinion, for the player who is leading right now? What we should expect from them?
Well, the best strategy is to win. It's really hard to say, because every game is very important, and there are only 6 games left, and it's very important, first of all, not to lose, but also at some point you have to take some risk, because you also need to win. And in the games against Fabiano Caruana, just sacrifice a rook on d5. It's the best way you can play against him.
Yes, this was the brilliant game.
And once you qualify, once you win the candidates, what does it feel like, and how is the preparation should be going in order to prepare for the World Championship match?
How did I prepare to Magnus? Sorry,
maybe not all of your secrets, obviously, but how different is the preparation to the World Championship match compared to the candidates or any other championship?
Well, it was personally for me, it was completely different, because I had 6 months and I had only one player against whom you have to prepare. Of course, he's a great world champion, but I mean, he's just one player. It's not 7 players. So it was fine. I learned almost all of his games. I looked almost all the openings he played. I made a big preparation of in which kind of positions he is good, in which he is better, and in which he is not, why he is winning, why he is losing, why he makes a draw. I mean, I studied him very well, and my coaches also helped me a lot. So it was of course also very much about the openings, but not only.
Yes, and there is another idea what I have is about Yekaterinburg. Are you going to go there maybe to cheer up someone and just
Well,
see
actually, I
how
was
it
going
goes?
to come. I was going to go there, but in fact, I have my own tournament very soon. I'll play in this Magnus Carlsen Tour in a few days also. So I decided to stay in Moscow to prepare a little bit and to be with my friends, with my family. So I will not go to Ekaterinburg, but I am following the event very, very deeply.
All right, Sergey, we shall not perhaps keep you busy for too long. That was such a pleasure having you here with us.
Yes, Sergey, thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Thank you. It was nice to speak with you and nice to see you.
And have a successful tournament. Beat the Magnus.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good comments and have a good days.
Thank you, Sergey.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Wow, what a guest! What did you find the most exciting about Sergey's insights, Ernesto?
Sergey was always a, you can say, magic player, in my opinion, because he have a very special thing, you know, during his career, especially when he was getting these achievements as winning the candidate tournaments, playing the match against Magnus. He played like some regular tournaments on one level. It's usually a bit lower. And suddenly on the tournament like Candidates, World Cup, he's showing just incredible power. You know, we even was saying between our grandmasters that he's like a changing, you know, become like a kraken, that no one can stop him. And this is very special, I think, about him. So in the very important moment of the tournaments of the chess career, he just changing completely and showing extremely high level of play. Of course, I'm talking about level for him. I mean, he's generally a very strong player with a lot of achievements, and I'm very glad that we start our show today with him, with a player who have this experience, playing Candidates, playing the World Championship matches, knows all the players, and of course, this is very insightful for us.
Yeah, and that is the part of our show. Every round will be different, but we will be covering all of them, and we will have the guests. And even though they will be different, they will be outstanding and special, and you will be surprised for sure.
Yes. Okay, so I suggest to look on what is going on, really. First, I suggest to check, is it really that Vachier already resigned? Because this can be very important news for us before we will continue.
Let me have a look. Well, Caruana beat Vachier, this is true, and Alexeenko is still shown to be winning against Grischuk. Yeah, the game is still going on according to the live broadcast.
Okay, so then I suggest to start with the game. Caruana against Vachier. Okay, just a moment. I will.
Let us bring the game.
Yes. Okay, the game started first. Before we will continue, Vachier is a player who plays mainly the same openings with with black pieces. Only four. He's always plays Sicilian, and this is another system. Is the most sharp opening in the theory of chess. And
very favorite opening of Anish Giri.
Yes. And I can imagine the point of Caruana, that he more or less knew what is going on. But the danger of Maxim is that he knows this position extremely well. He knows everything. He have a very big team of preparation, and he played it, I don't know, 100 of games in these systems. So it is very difficult to find any surprise against him. But what we can see that from the beginning, first Fabiano chose the most sharp line in this Naderf. Naderf is sharp, but Caruana also chose the most sharp variation of this system.
The sharpest approach.
Yes, so if you want try the most spicy dish in chess, so here we have it.
This is the dish.
Yes. Okay, bishop g5 is a famous line. The most sharp players of all chess history played this system. It was Mikhail Tal and all, let's say, attacking players used to play this line. e6, f4, so we quickly go through the openings. This is the pawn sacrifice, white immediately sacrifice a pawn, and this is so-called poison pawn sacrifice, because consider when this line was found out, all the players considered it is wrong to take this pawn for black, so that white it have a name poison pawn variation. This is still theory. I should say that till the move 16, this was all known for both of players, because Maxim already played this position before. He played this position against Anish Giri, and then they made a draw. And in this position, Caruana made a move which is not novelty yet. He played c3. But this is rare move already, and after this moment, Maxim started to think. So I'm not sure if he was surprised at all, or maybe he tried to recall his lines. But anyway, he starts thinking. And actually, I should say that this is part of the game these days, that the players usually more or less know how they start the game. And this is the first phase of their fight.
There's some kind of a psychological
Yes.
war between two of them. Who will be the first to be, to be surprised, even though, as you're right, you mentioned it, it could be also just checking. Yeah, he knows what he does, but like the Grischuk style, let's take our time even though we know what we want to do.
Yes, this is you never know, and actually the players also not only thinking about chess moves, they also think what my opponent think and what I want him to make thinking about the situation, and this is quite deep and interesting. He chose the move bishop c5, absolutely normal move, and next bishop g3, queen d5. The real novelty comes on move 17, and actually for me this was quite shocking move, despite the computer showing as one of the possibility. But still, I always surprised a lot when we just put our piece under attack.
Oh wow, what a beautiful move indeed.
Yes, you can see that the bishop is not defended of any pieces. He have no defense, so Vachier simply took the bishop. Yes, but this
Asking the question, and what's next?
Yes, you know, such moves usually make a small kids. When they just start playing, they see the queen,
they blunder.
they want to
Yeah,
take the
that's
queen,
what
and
it
they
is.
tries all the ways to attack. But of course, when such a grandmaster make it, you don't expect him to have a blunder. And next move is also very beautiful. After queen takes c4, the point was to play bishop d6. Of course, it's very difficult to make such move without preparation. Obviously, that Caruana prepared all this idea. Now there is many threats around the black king. The main point is that black king cannot go to the safe place. Black simply cannot castle right now.
Yeah, that's true. And bishop takes d6 doesn't work because of knight takes d6, and this would be a double attack or fork, as everyone knows.
And if we count the material situation, we can see that Maxim have right now extra piece and 3 pawns. So this is extremely short start, because this advantage is usually enough for win. Even 2 pawns is very big, but Caruana sacrificed a piece and 3 pawns. So what for? How do you think, Dina?
Well, it must be something concrete, and as you mentioned, bishop takes d6 is not possible, castling is not possible either, so just by looking at these pieces, even though you say they are like extra pieces, rook on a8, knight on b8, and bishop on c8, black cannot move them. The only possibility I would say is knight c6. Does that work for black? But in either way, before we continue, it is true that there is some kind of compensation here. The question is what it is and how to proceed.
Actually, the terrific threat is bishop takes c5, and then knight goes to d6. So if you try knight c6...
Oh, this one is nice. Bishop takes c5 and knight takes c5.
We can show it, yes. So it was your question, what happens if knight goes to c6, bishop takes to c5, and this is immediately winning for white, because now knight d6 is just killing threat. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The main point of this sacrifice is that the king is still in the center, and black simply don't have time to castle, and all the pieces is on the corner of the boards. So this is also, you know, if we compare chess to life, it is like time is more important than material.
Yes, that
And
is.
this position shows this fight between time and material. So what do you prefer? Actually, what will you prefer? To have I don't know, few millions of dollars in your bank account, or to have a few more years of your life?
Well, I guess there is nothing to think about if you have millions on your bank account and you die tomorrow. What is all about? But yes, the point is here. Even all the pawns cannot move, right? So even if I move the pawns, even if I do not play knight c6, there is still this bishop c5 threat, knight takes, and then knight d6. So yes, what should black do here? How to continue?
Actually, Maxim found absolutely the best defense here. He just sacrificed his bishop, but change more pieces instead. So knight f6 is absolutely a necessary move here. Now bishop c5 is not possible anymore because knight will take on e4, so he will want to change this very dangerous knight. So this is what he's going to do. That's why Caruana played knight takes c5. Obviously, he wants to avoid the changes.
And this is so amusing, to look at the evaluation bar on your left, where you have an absolute equality.
Yes. So this is how computers help us to go more deep in the chess positions. And after knight c5, the further moves are also quite forced. So black need to change as much pieces as possible. And this is only chance to survive. So knight d5 attacking both the queen and the pawn on c3, queen e5. Just a moment. Okay. Yeah, this is rook g8. Yeah, I'm gonna use this. Yes, and here is another brilliant moment to come. So obviously that white pieces are more active than the black ones. But when you have a piece activity, you need to break through. You need to do something. You cannot just waste your time, because this is your advantage. And here we have another very nice sacrifice. Knight takes e6, f takes e6, knight takes e6. Yes, and this is quite natural what Maxim did here. He took queen takes e3. We will go there, but I just want to show how the engines keep thinking about such a situation. Obviously, for the human being, this queen is very dangerous against the black's king, and you cannot just ignore the situation. But can you guess what is the best suggestion of computer in this position? The most coolest move you can.
Even though the computer suggestion is just in front of my eyes, I will try not to look there and pretend I didn't look there before. Oh my. I would say, well, does knight e7 work? If knight c7, there is queen takes c7?
Yes.
Yes? No? Yes?
Bishop takes e7.
Bishop, you're queen down, so
Yes,
okay, it
yes.
doesn't make any sense. Oh my.
Okay, I will not puzzle you much.
Yeah, wait. Okay, it's a king move. It's a king move for sure. So it's something like absolutely crazy king d7 in front of your rook.
Yes, king d7 is also looks interesting for me, but what after rook takes d5?
You're so mean. Wait a second, there was a check. If there is a check, we can save at least one tempi. Queen h4, check, and we do not get checkmated on the move after.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to show and why I asked this question. Because
it doesn't work.
I don't know about queen h4, I guess not. Actually, okay, I want to show you if you let me.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, actually, very nice defense is knight f6.
Oh.
And this is just ridiculous to play this move. What I wanted to show is every chess player is very scary about such positions of queen against king.
Yeah, there is a discovered check on the way.
Yes,
on
and
its way
it's very natural that you try to avoid this check in any cost. You want to run with the king, you want to make a check instead, want to cover your king with knight e7. This is just for the chess player is very natural. You cannot think like that. Your king is under attack, and the king for the chess player is like the most.
It is the most precious, and not just for a chess player, like as if chess players were different from other human beings, but it is just the point of the whole game. If your king gets in trouble and eventually gets checkmated, then you lose the game. So you need to take care of your king.
Yes, and actually the line continues like that, this defense. Knight g5, you can see that there is no normal move for the king. It will be made immediately, and it is bishop e6.
Oh, wow. Under two threats like this. Yes, so you will not take with a queen, but because then there will be queen exchange and, well, let's admit it, no attack if queen swap of the board. But there is knight takes e6, and now same situation, but we now have this c8. How does it help us, this c8 square?
It's not about c8, we won a tempo. Because it was a tempo reposition.
You're right.
And after knight c6, it's already suddenly black is winning.
Oh.
So after bishop e6, the only move is queen takes e6 and play this endgame with extra pawn for black. So this is just brilliant defense, but I wanted to show that position is extremely crazy. That such best players in the world, Caruana and Maxim, for them it's also difficult. And also the position is so rich what they have. So Maxim choose one plan, but computer shows another plan. I have another idea, you have another idea. So I so much like such a situation on the board when every player can choose what he likes. So this game is very rich on possibilities.
And summarizing, do you think this bishop c4 was a move found on the board, or it was some kind of recalling an old preparation?
Bishop c4 is definitely preparation for Fabiano, because c3 he played quickly and bishop c4 he played it quickly. But for Maxim, I don't sure, because he found the best move, but maybe he recalled it. So, you know, when you play such a line, what is happening in the player's mind? Definitely, Vachier looked for all moves. I'm sure about that. But if you're not sure on 100%, you just cannot play it immediately. And what you do as professional, you start to check it. Check what you remember, check how you should play, and then you spend a lot of time. Maybe you don't see everything, maybe don't see any details, and that's why we don't know exactly was Maxim thinking, or maybe he was trying to check his memory. Okay, so let's come back. After knight takes c6, he took queen takes c3. This is very understandable. He decided to simplify the position, and I believe this was quite normal move. Okay, and what we get here, we got this endgame where white have a rook, and black have knight and 2 pawns. Frankly, I was considering it not that dangerous for black. I'm quite surprised that Sergey evaluated it as a difficult for defense. But of course, this is not only about chess. This is also about psychology. So one player get a chances, he enjoying the position, he is trying to find new ideas, and second player have to be just very patient and keep his attention only on opponent's ideas. And this is very difficult psychologically, because we like to create. We don't like to see how someone else creating.
So it's always easier to be the attacker than the defender in chess.
Yes, completely.
I see your point.
And it looks like of course position is better and only white can win, but chances for the draw was always high. Even at this position, when Caruana took on f6 and ruined the black's king side, the chances was quite high. And frankly, next point when they changed these pawns, I mean this was this moment. After they changed these pawns, it looked for me like it should be more or less easy draw, to be honest, because the knight on e5 is very strong, and it is very hard to break through for white. Let's see what happened later, because this was important how Caruana finally found a way to win.
And this is also what Sergey told us in the interview, that it was actually equal until the moment when black led white's king to get to h5.
Yes. Okay, actually, the point of this position is all about white king. And the best way of defense is that if you have a counterplay against g2 pawn and don't land white pieces to improve too much. Okay, just imagine ideal setup. If white would play g4, for example, this is wrong move. Knight e5, would be immediately very close to draw, because the knight have ideal position. He attacks g4 square and also stopping the white king for coming too close. But of course, white is not hiring with g4. And this is what Caruana was doing. He simply was improving his position, and for the very long period it was very drawish. Also, you see this position, this is very quite smart way of defending. Knight h6 is stopping the white king from coming to f5 or somewhere.
Right, and you know, I feel like I have a déjà vu, if you see what I mean. There was some kind of an endgame with the exchange up for one side recently in the game of one of the world leaders. Doesn't it remind you of something?
Yes, actually, this position reminds many time in the position in
I
history.
feel like it was a mainstream some months ago. I guess we will check this later.
Yes,
And
later. I remember the game
and bring
exactly
the
with
information, yeah.
similar pawns f6 against g pawns. It was a
Yes.
game tile. It was a game of tile. Actually, it was a famous endgame, and actually he drew that game.
Yeah, there was one more. We will see that later on.
Okay, so the plan how Caruana finally managed to win, it was the king maneuver to h5, and this is what Sergey told to us. So you can see that there was many moves when Caruana couldn't improve his position, and the key moment come here. Then the move knight g8, I believe, was not accurate, after which the knight is too passive, and now we see that after king g4, king is coming to h5, and this has become already more difficult for black to defend, because if the king comes to h6, there is more chances to push back the black pieces. Yes, and I think we should go to the final position. Do we have it? Can you tell me?
Yes,
what have it?
let me tell you the moves.
Yes, please. When we started our stream, the game was continued, and during our conversation with Sergey, they make much more moves. So we just share it with you.
By the way, we already have a result in Alexeenko versus Grischuk game.
Okay.
Alexeenko won, but we'll get to this one later.
Yes. Okay. Just tell me a few moves. How the game
Yes.
was
So
finished.
what was the last move you had? It was 73.
Yes.
Let me update you. So move number 73, G4 is on the board. Then it was, well, simply there was not much of the say,
King
you know.
E5, King
There
G6
was
or-
King E5, King
Okay,
G6,
come on,
and
I don't
that's
believe
it.
this.
Yeah.
But what is this red? Can you guess why it's lost?
Let us have a look. Let us make this two. King E5, King G6. Oh,
Knight
this is
F4
actually a
takes
mistake. I mean,
Yes.
it was already a bad position, obviously, but this King E5 actually makes it even worse. Just before, if you go back, if you go after G4, yes.
So it looks like one mistake. Okay, position is difficult anyway. I will show what is the problem. First of all, you need to make some move. You cannot
Yeah.
cannot wait.
You need to move
So
on.
just imagine that he will not let the king to come to e6. Yes. Now here knight is attacking g6, so king cannot go to g6. King. I will go king h6. Just imagine we wait.
95. Just do some random moves. Rook
Yes.
F1.
And now my king is come to g7, and black simply cannot wait anymore. And
So everything is okay for me, but I should not move. If I could only jump
Yes.
at the same place, or simply say I do not want to move, make your second move. But unfortunately, this is not possible in chess.
yes, and so what is the problem? Why Maxim resigned? Because he will lose his f pawn anyway, and without this pawn, it is easily win for white.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So what? Okay. So what can we say about this game?
Oh wow, this is for sure. May I say the most exciting game of the round?
Yes, it is very strong novelty, but more what I like, it is very brave game, because white sacrificed its sacrificed piece, 3 pawns in a very sharp position, and actually later Caruana pushed very hard, and Maxim didn't manage to defend. So this is quite. Yeah, this is quite a shocking start, because, okay, everybody was talking that Maxim, actually, you know, he gave an interview that he prepared very well and going to win this event, and just the round one, and okay, he's already not a leader anymore.
Yeah, that is a hard one. Shall we show now Alexeenko Grischuk game?
Yes.
This is one more
Decisive
game, resultative game. Yes, white won, Alexeenko won. Who was, by the way, the outsider of the event, and now he joins the leaders. He will now have 3.5 as Grischuk. Yes, right. So
yeah,
big
this is game left unusual feelings to me. First of all, I agree with Sergey that it is unusual choice for Alexander Grischuk. He is not famous to play in French defense, and also he choose the line. We can see again that black is taking pawn on b2, and you see. So maybe we can give an advice to our viewers. Don't take the pawn.
Don't take the poison pawns.
Yes.
Do not do that. That's a trap. Do not
Yes.
believe your opponents.
Yes. Okay, so objectively speaking, this is very, very long theoretical line is going right here. So this is famous sacrifice. Once again, this is preparation of the players. What is the point of this position? White's position looks like winning for me when I saw this line first time.
Strategically, I totally agree with you. Look at this rook. Look at this bishop. The rook on h8, the bishop on f8, the king in the center. Oh god, that scares me. And the bishop, the French
Yes.
bishop. It's yeah, but okay. Once again, the evaluation is equal. So
Yes.
Ernesto,
What is it?
there must be something. Tell us.
Yes. So we can divide the position on few factors. We can say that black pawns is just very good. All pawns defend each other, and white have a weakness on c2. This is the reason number one. Second, we can see that if the knight on c3 can be attacked one day, so you cannot stay with your knight on c3 for the long time. But if you will try to regroup this knight,
Where would you like to put the knight?
yes, I would like to show this idea.
The rook on c8.
Yes, okay. Computer cannot think like me.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, this is
Yes.
his biggest weakness.
Yes, and I cannot think like him, and this is my biggest weakness.
This is your biggest achievement.
Okay.
This
so,
is your biggest strength. I get it.
Thanks. Okay, so if white would remove the knight from c3, then the bishop will come to b5. So it will be no longer a weak bishop, and this is the point. Why this position looks scary and winning for white? Because white have rook on b7, bishop on d4. All the pieces is extremely active. But nowadays, the players can analyze this position in deep. And it's already well known that white is not winning here. There is no immediate strike. So usually the game going quite slow. So black finish in development, queen d8, bishop e7, castle short, and then the game continue like that.
So the plan is queen d8 and the bishop out.
e7. Yes, bishop out.
Oh,
this
okay,
is
bishop out, and then the king castle. And then yeah, well, so 3 moves that black needs in
Yes.
order to get his life back.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, it sounds like too much for the chess point of view, but this line is quite solid, and actually Nakamura is played this line, not in a single game, and Nepomnishin played this line, so it is topical line of the French defense. Okay, first move is queen h4. The idea of this move is the main answer of white is usually bishop f2, queen d8, and then black goes to this plan. Bishop
Okay.
e7, castle short, and playing more or less normal position.
I also heard recently the term for such a strategical, very nice strategical pattern. It is called a. I'm trying to recall. It is a disappearing move.
What is that?
You actually want to play queen d8.
Okay.
But before doing that, you do a move which will disappear for you once you just a move after. But it will actually change something for your opponent. It will force him to put his piece on a weaker spot, which is here, bishop f2, and then queen h4, queen h8. And right now, you see, there is nothing that changed for black, but this is the difference. So it is a very interesting maneuver, you know, when you, for example, you want to develop your bishop and you put it you want to develop to e6, but then you put it to g4, you attack, he must defend, something like bishop e2, and then bishop back to e6. So it is a very nice pattern that I would recommend to our viewers to actually take into consideration for their games.
Yeah, this is very nice. I will also try to use it in my games.
You're welcome.
Okay, this is how the game generally should continue. So bishop f2 is the main move still, but in this game, Kirill tried to play queen f2, which is quite modest decision because we just described these positions that white have a very strong activity, but when you change the queens, the activity is already not that strong, so it's not that dangerous for black. And actually this is what happened in the game. After queen takes, bishop e7, quite quickly black got a very comfortable position. Bishop d8 is preparation for the castle short, so he wants to remove his bishop from the 7th rank, and then castle short. And this is actually what is going on.
And the rook is pushed back. This is
Yes.
this is actually an amazing achievement for black because, well, white has no joker anymore.
Yes, and somewhere here, frankly, I was already thought that it is already black who will try to push something, and actually Grischuk tried that. So c4 is idea to remove this weak pawn. You remember we were talking about that, and
wait a second. This is something that actually that is actually pretty surprising for me, because when you push c4 strategically, it might not be that brilliant, because the bishop, which was supposed to be one of the weakest pieces of black, will now become active. But as you say, chess is about comparing. You have millions of different strategical ideas, and you need to compare them. So here, the importance of getting rid of the weak c4 pawn, as you say, is more important than the opening the bishop. And once again, the bishop will go later on to b5.
yes. This is a moment when, in my opinion, Alexeenko started to play for equality. So he decided, okay, I didn't get advantage out of the opening, so it is very important to keep the situation under control. And c4, this is a move which shows that his mood. f6 is showing another mood. As you can imagine, Alexander definitely is trying to complicate the matters, because when you have the bishops, you should try to open as much lines as you can. And also we can see that white king is on the center, and that this is a possibility that in the future opening the lines in the center can cause the problem for the white king.
Even though we are already in the endgame, and usually one should not be threatened of getting checkmated or attacked for his king when he's in the endgame, but here, once again, too many pieces on the board still.
Okay, so let's quickly go what happened after that. So this is strategical points of this game. Actually, both players played quite good game, and the position was balanced for the very, very long time. So that's why we will not stop too deep on the moment. We will come directly to the moment when Grischuk got the material advantage. So you can see that the game became more sharp. The e5 pawn is thrown and d3 pawn is thrown. So both players trying to make it work. And also you see that white king is quite in dangerous position. Just easily can we imagine bishop g5, d2, and this will be not an easy for white. But this bishop on d6 and pawn on e5 is generally not worse than the rooks, and this is actually what Alexeenko showed in this game.
Yes, this bishop on d6 is in an incredible outpost.
Yes.
Even though the file is genuinely closed by the d3 pawn, pretty unnatural, isn't it?
Yes, and also I would mention that king on g8 is quite passive right now. So finally, it seems like white have more possibilities to improve the position than black. And what the only problem in the position is this d3 pawn. And actually, what happened is that in some moment Alexeenko just decided to get rid of this pawn. So you see he sacrificed the rook and take on d3.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, and this is key point of the game. It's hard to evaluate who is seriously better. Computer likes rooks for sure, but I would prefer this bishop because I don't see how black really can win this game, but I easily can imagine how white can win this game. Still, I wouldn't try this position against computer for sure, because computer know how to play with the rooks. And suddenly, so if before this move, it is quite clear that more or less Grischuk was trying to complicate the matters, to make the position more complicated, even though he didn't have any advantage, but he was trying to complicate the situation. But after this position, he already should be accurate, and finally he didn't manage to do that.
Well, for a human eye, this bishop on d6 and this pawn on e5 look fantastic. So
yes.
I would definitely agree with the idea that the rooks are active, but it's the computer.
Yes.
And right now it's already equal, right? The evaluation.
Yeah, I think at some moment Grischuk should just give back this exchange. Took the bishop on d6, but it's not easy to find the right moment right now. So he didn't do that, and later this caused the problem to him. Yes, the key moment was when the pawns go forward, and this is already very, very dangerous. Also, we were talking with Sergey, so we didn't see what was Grischuk inside note or not, but finally what happened in the game is that this pawn promoted.
I'm pretty surprised to see such a deep positional understanding from a young player who doesn't have as much experience as his rivals here and is supposed to be an underdog in this tournament.
Yeah, actually, this is game I think showing
The potential.
the potential and the strengths of Kirill, because you see this is quite deep moments in this position to evaluate all these details, to calculate it correctly, because the game finished in a very sharp race when black took the pawn and suggested for white to go forward with the pawn on e7, so it's required a lot of accurate calculation, and this was always, in my opinion, best threat of Kirill Alexeenko. Actually, we should introduce him a bit. So he is the youngest participant of the tournament and a quite surprising participant. He got to this tournament. He got the wild card officially, but now the wild card, it's not easy to get this wild card. You deserve to show very good result. Before in the candidate tournaments, organizers could just nominate any player they like if the player meet the conditions that his elo is more than 2700. But nowadays, you need to show very good result, or in World Cup, or in Grand Swiss, very big selection tournament. And Kirill was surprisingly the best Russian player in this Grand Swiss selection, and because of that, he got this wild card.
It is true. He finished third in the Isle of Man, the tournament you're mentioning, and well, Kirill was already known before as. I recall him winning 2 consecutive Chigorin memorials in St. Petersburg, pretty strong open tournaments, and winning the 2 of them in the row. That means something.
Yes, and also it was like his 2019 was a year when he just like a rocket, go higher and higher and higher, and it ended with this Grand Swiss event. So he's, we can say, he's a rising star who just going forward. Okay, pandemic stopped him a bit, but we can see that the first game of this tournament shows that he is going to go forward once again.
And this is what we wish him.
Yes. So finally the game was over like that. So his pawn, he just promoted the pawn, and that's how the game finished.
Let us switch to the next game.
Yes. Okay.
Which one do you prefer?
Yes, I think it's time to look for the game of Chinese players.
Let's start with this
again Dina Belenkaya. This is actually a quite sharp line, but I want to say that this line was very interesting. Even Kasparov tried it with white, but
you say Kasparov, not even Dina Belenkaya tried it several times.
Okay. So you have very attacking style, Dina.
Well, my favorite move here is bishop d3, but if you say so.
You should not tell this. More charming.
It's okay.
More
it's
charming
okay.
if you castle long, sacrifice the pieces.
I can play different styles. Let's call it like this. So this is a Scotch defense.
Yes, very unusual strategically positions. Usually when we have e4, e5 start of the game, both pawns stay in front of each other and the game is more or less slowly. And this d4 breakthrough is idea just to open the positions immediately and to get unbalanced situation. So this is very interesting start. But the line which Van Hao picked, it is sharp, but it is famous that black have enough defense, and it was very likely that the game will finish in a draw after the start. So it was just few moves needed from Dina Belenkaya to make the draw. So let's show.
Let's show briefly the game. Yeah, it was for sure a little bit less exciting.
It was a move bishop a3. This is a detail. This is the deal.
Just the moment I say that.
Yeah, you didn't play that.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah, so the point of the bishop a3, so we force black to go knight b4, because queen e6 is not possible, c takes d5, so knight b4 is more or less the only move, bishop b2, bishop g7, and a3, this is an idea, so now knight is forced to go to d5 back, and then knight to d2.
It's important to mention there is a pin here, so c takes d5
is not possible, yes.
It's not possible.
So all these theoretical moves, castle, rook e8, and the idea of the line shows the moves queen f3. So now knight is attacked, and if you remove the knight back, for example, knight b6, after knight e4, white have just a terrific square on f6.
This f6, that's just horrible.
So it forced, now black is forced to sacrifice the exchange. Yes. Okay.
After move.
It's not okay.
Yeah,
yeah, I make a
you
left.
just spoiled.
Yes.
You just spoiled something. Okay.
The most. Okay.
Never
yes,
mind.
yes, yes. So this is a exchange sacrifice once again, but after knight takes e8, black have just a repetition of the position. The only novelty in this position was the move knight a4.
Again, how many pieces sacrifice have we seen so far?
Rook exchange in the game Alexeenko Grischuk, piece on the game Caruana against Maxim Vachier. A lot of sacrifices.
Yeah.
Yes, and after knight e4, white king will be open, and this is enough to have a counterplay for the draw. So queen f6 is a very accurate move, and after queen b3, it's just a repetition of the position. I want to remind that there is a rule on chess. Maybe someone is joined our stream and just want to know what is chess about. If the players repeat the position 3 times, the game is drawn automatically.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so this was a draw between 2 Chinese players. I also should mention that there is a rule in this tournament. Then when a few participants is from the same country, they have to meet each other in the first round to avoid, some suspicious results in the last round. So we can see today that Van Hao plays against Ding Liren, and also Alexeenko playing against Grischuk. So this is because of that.
This is actually pretty common practice on different chess tournaments. The best example that comes to my mind is Musachuk sisters Anna and Maria always meet in the first round, which was the case in the Women's Grand Prix recently, and surprisingly, it is always a draw.
Yes. Okay, but what do you think about this? I mean.
Well,
okay, not about sisters, of course. I'm talking.
Yeah, but about the rule matching 2 players from one, like who could be. I see what you mean. Well, I think it's for sure the right strategy. I cannot argue with this one. I mean, you never know, and it is also human for people to who could be close to be considering sometimes. Well.
Yeah, and also it become even if all players are honest and absolutely trusted, you cannot avoid the situation when others got nervous in this situation. They start to suspect each other, and this is just bad. So we avoid this. This is a very nice way to avoid this.
Yeah, very nice indeed.
Okay. Okay, so let's check now the last game, the 4th game of today's round.
There was a very nice tweet I noticed from Anish Giri when the game was already finished and we were still preparing for our breakdown. I guess we could bring it later on. I won't say what it is about. We'll see. The game started with e4.
Yes. Okay. So it is Sicilian defense, so-called. Okay, in Russia we call it Chelyabinsk variation, yes, because it was a Soviet masters from the city of Chelyabinsk which invented this system, and in western part of the world it used to call the Sveshnikov system.
Because this was the creator of the line who lived in Chelyabinsk.
Actually, Evgeny Sveshnikov, the creator of this line, he declared that this is the best chess moves possible in chess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was saying that he found the best way of play chess. So e4, c5, and exactly all these moves.
Just play like this, and that's it.
Yes, this is what he declared, and he was making a lot of researches. So maybe Giri finally also made this conclusion. We should ask him, I guess. So
we will.
Yeah. So the point of this system. That black gives a very strong square for the white. Now white can use this d5 outpost. This is very strong outpost. But as compensation, they get awkward position of the knight on s3. And also they got some tempos because this knight need to be improved. And during this period, black will get a better position for the pieces. So all this, of course, theoretical positions. So the game, all these moves was quite famous. And here it is a critical moment because the most sharp variations start when white plays a4, b takes a4, knight c2 b4, and this is all how it started. Even there is a sacrifices possible once again after bishop d7, for example. There is one of the line rook takes a4, but maybe Jan was not really prepared for this choice of Giri, so he decided to choose more slow way of playing. g3, castle, h4, a3. The move he made, queen d3, is technically novelty, but it doesn't change much. The position is about equal because here black have counterplay on the king side with b4, and also black have the bishop, despite it looks like the bishop is passive, but the bishop controls very important square e3. So once you will try to support d5 outpost with knight e3, this bishop will be changed. And this is actually what happened in the game. Knight e7 attacking d5, so this outpost...
Trying to exchange this important knight, yes, and knight e3, protecting, but it looks like...
Yes, but they changed, and this position already quite knowing that this is not nothing special for white, and the players just find a way to repeat the moves because the position was about equal. White didn't see how to proceed, and they repeated move like that. Bishop d1, bishop e6, bishop g4, bishop b3, bishop d1. Well, Dina, so what do you take on from this round of candidate tournaments?
The games were more exciting than I would have imagined, to be honest. We had only 2 draws, only 2 for the first round. Remember the time we were betting? We said it would be 4 draws for sure, but no, actually not. Yeah, well, for the first game since a year, bishop c4 from Caruana MVL, I definitely enjoyed this one. And also the fact that Kirill Alexeenko, the underdog, the player who was on the bottom, at the bottom of the tournament, won his game and is now, well, sharing the bottom, but is not the outsider anymore. Is pretty inspiring to me. And what about you, Ernesto?
I absolutely agree that bishop c4 is a very strong novelty from Fabiana. I would also mention that it seems like the players who was following the leaders, I'm talking about Caruana, Giri, they prepared very well because Nepomniachtchi had white pieces, but he didn't pose any problem to Giri. And Caruana just used his chances with white pieces. Maybe if Giri also would have white pieces, we could see also a different game. So I would mention that I feel that Giri is also prepared very well and should not forget about his chances also. And of course, I'm very excited that it is decisive and such important decisive game. You know, it is in some tournament it is just like a sleepy atmosphere. What I mean. Players look to each other. One is playing slowly, try to be accurate. Another playing slowly, try to be accurate. But when you see around, everybody is winning, everything is happening, and you know, the players become very angry on each other. Because next round, I believe, Maxim will be very angry. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, this is true.
This is absolutely exciting start. Maybe the best possible we could expect, and also with a very delicious chess.
Delicious is the nice word you've chosen. I like that one. Yes, and regarding their positions in the tournament and the predictions that we had, let us bring you a tweet of chess.com that was commented by Anish Giri, a very nice one. I am sure our viewers would be curious to have a look at this one.
Okay, so what was it? Can you read it or we will see it?
Yeah, our team will bring it to us.
So,
if you are Magnus Carlsen, which FIDE Candidates competitor do you least want to face in the 2021 World Chess Championship? And there were suggested 4 different answers. Fabiano Caruana, Jan Nepomniachtchi, Maxim Vachier, other. And apparently Anish got a little bit offended by this one, answering on this tweet, if you were watching the show, which website would you look the games at? Chess24, Kasparov Chess, Lee Chess, or other?
Okay, I guess in 1 week he will write on the first bottom our show.
Yeah, if you were watching the candidates, which broadcast, which breakdown would you put on? And then let's take something the biggest. Chess24, chess.com, Lee Chess, or Breakdown Live Studio with Grandmaster Ernesto Inarkiev and Woman Grandmaster Dina Belenkaya?
Definitely, Dina, I would choose you. Doesn't matter on which broadcast you're going to be.
I just realized, thank you for this one, I just realized there were 4 options that I didn't put other, but you get the point. Nice one. Okay,
What about tomorrow, Dina? What about tomorrow round?
Let us look at the standings. Let us look at the standings and see what is waiting for us tomorrow.
Can we see the standings?
Not yet. So that means we should.
We should just check about tomorrow round what we have. Tomorrow is very interesting day also. First of all, the game number 1, it will be Alexeenko playing against Caruana. And Alexeenko will have a white pieces. I should mention that when the players win the game, they usually feel like a win.
They feel inspired.
Yes, and what I can say about Alexeenko, he's not. I don't think that he feels that this is his time to become a challenger for the world champion. So his main point, I guess, is to get this experience and also to feel his power. Can he play against the best players? Can he beat them? So tomorrow, I believe this will be the most exciting game, the most dangerous for Caruana, obviously, and I expected them to be very. This is for me. It will be the game number 1 tomorrow, Alexeenko against Caruana.
And looks like we are having the standings finally. So. Right now, we do not have the results updated yet, do we? No, these are the results of the previous round, but we already know that Maxim lost his game.
So we have a sole leader right now.
We have a sole leader, who is Jan Nepomniachtchi, who drew his game today, and that you know what that reminds me of something.
Yes.
Last round, Russian super final. Jan Nepomniachtchi drawing his game in 6 moves, or no, that wasn't. That was a very short game, and just putting it like this. Well, whatever happens, I just do not want to play the tie breaks, Armageddon, and everything. And on the other side, we had Sergey Karjakin, our guest of today, who fought. Who had a super tough, super long game against Daniil Dubov and lost, and eventually found himself on the 2nd place, which made Jan Nepomniachtchi be the leader. And this is the same situation here, actually.
It sounds like a magic for me, you know. It looks like what you described, that you can make a draw in 6 moves and win the tournament.
Yes, that's
This is a dreaming situation for the players who don't like chess, but I think for every chess player it's much more exciting to win the tournament after winning an exciting game. Okay, so we have a new standings. So Dina, please tell us
what we have right now. Right. So yes. Well, we still have Maxim on the position number 1, but we do see that he's having 4.5. So he's on the 2nd place, while Jan Nepomniachtchi is on the place number 2. This is what we. Oh yes, this is what we see right now on the screen. But do not believe that these are not the. Well, in any case, you know, Jan Nepomniachtchi has 5 points. Yes. He's on the 1st place. Yes. Maxim
and Caruana have 4.5.
And Caruana right now is also 4.5.
Giri have 4 points.
4 points for Giri.
Yes, and 3.5 should have
Liren and Van Hal.
Grischuk.
Grischuk lost. He has Grischuk lost to Alexeenko. They both have 3.5 each.
Yes.
So Van Hal and Liren drew,
yes,
which makes them 4. as far as I remember.
Yes, okay.
Right, this makes... okay, you will correct me in any case if I'm wrong, but for now, as far as I remember, let us test my memory. We have Nepomniachtchi 5 points,
Yes,
Maxim 4.5, Caruana 4.5,
Yes.
Ding Liren, Van Hao, and...
you forget about Giri.
and Giri 4.
Giri 4.
Giri, huh? Okay, Giri.
Okay,
We're
it's
playing a very
complicated
interesting game,
for
trying
Dina.
to remember. But I do think that we're close. We're close. Well, actually, we're pretty close to that one.
Yes, okay, so let's, so finally we know the leaders. It's quite obviously that
We know the leader.
four players is more close to Jan Nepomniachtchi 5, Caruana and Maxim have 4.5, and 4 have Giri. Other players have less. About the games for tomorrow, one we already announced it. It will be Alexeenko against Caruana. Another game would be Grischuk against Nepomniachtchi. This is also will be very important game to understand what is going on in this event, because yes, Alexander lost today, but tomorrow he will have white pieces, and this is a chance to him to show what actually he did during this year. We also would like to know the answer on this question.
This is the question that we would like to ask to all of them.
Yes.
What did you do the whole year? And yeah, we do know that chess players, well, it's pretty understandable, but when just the moment when tournaments got postponed and there was no certain information about when and how it would resume, players, let's admit it, players didn't have any motivation to continue study chess, and they only pushed it. They only took more energy and inspiration to prepare for the candidates when they knew already the dates of the second half.
Yes. So the game number 3 is Giri against Van Hao. Giri will have a white pieces, and if he want to win this tournament, this is a very good moment for him to show what he can do, except of the tweeting on and answering on chess.com tweets. And the last game is also the game Ding Liren against Vachier. I want to say that Ding Liren was actually one of the favorites before the first lap of the tournament 1 year ago. He had an amazing year, but this pandemic actually was very difficult for him. He was only one player who was 2 times in quarantine. First time when he came to the tournament from China, he stood 2 weeks in Russia in Moscow region, and then when he was coming back, he spent also 2 weeks in some special place just to let him go home. And he played the tournament much lower than everybody expected, and I think tomorrow it's also the moment for him to show what he can, because he's one of the top 5 players, in my opinion. And for Maxim, it will be definitely the tough day after he lost today, and tomorrow to meet the Ding Liren, it's not easy moment. But Dina, I think this is what we all wanted to see. This is we want to see exciting days. We want to see very interesting games, and also I would like to see you, of course, in the studio. So I'm very glad to have this day, such a tournament, and such a games.
Yes, that was a very nice. That was a very nice first coverage from the round 8. That was also the first day we worked together. How did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it?
Well, I feel that you was a little bit nervous. It seems like it was your first time on the chess stream. Was it right? What was you worried about?
Wait. Let me see my script. I've prepared something for this one. I've prepared something. Well, guess what? Let our fans decide who is better at this.
Yes, please write the comments. Don't forget to put likes, and come back tomorrow for our live breakdown studio on the Candidates Chess Tournament, together with woman Grandmaster Dina Belenkaya
and Grandmaster Ernesto Inarkiev. As Ernesto said, do not forget to like, share, and of course subscribe to the channel.